So, welcome to the seventh episode about the podcast about nada, where nothing is still something. Brought to you by ULM Productions, where if you have a vision, it becomes our dream. Also, this is brought to you by Anchor FM, where if you have a podcast, they will help you spread it everywhere. Literally everywhere. I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you can think about where you get a podcast, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. Okay, this is going to be the one about basketball and COVID, mainly because Kyrie Irving has made his way back to the basketball court in the NBA, playing for the Brooklyn Nets again. And this is very significant because if you remember his whole story, which I'm going to dive more into, he stopped playing for the Brooklyn Nets because of COVID and the vaccine. And it's amazing how COVID is ramped up with all his different cousins and stuff. And it's like a totally new variant. So I wonder how like the NBA is going to play this now. So this is one about basketball and COVID. Let's get it.
They say, what's your show about? I say nothing.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I think I can sum up the show for you with one word. Nothing.
What you talking about, Will?
Nothing? Nothing.
What do you mean by that?
Everybody's doing something. We'll do nothing. Maybe in philosophy, but even nothing is something.
Alright, so if you don't know, Kyrie Irving, yes, the scenery behind me is different now for this part of the video. Kyrie Irving is this basketball player who plays in the National Basketball Association. He went to Duke. He didn't really play a lot at Duke. He had an injury, forced him on, I think, played 2 games as a freshman record, and still got drafted number 1. He goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He wins Rookie of the Year. Then some guy, you probably know him, named LeBron James, struts his way back from Miami, back into Cleveland, and hangs out with this guy, Kevin Love. They go on to win the championship, have this miraculous little mini rivalry with the Warriors in the finals, and then he decides to go his own separate way. And this is when Kyrie Irving starts to become one of my favorite players, is because he's never been afraid to speak out and whatever it is he wants to speak out about, regardless if it's basketball, something going on in social life, or just something period going on around the world. He's never been scared to talk about it. And at this moment is when I realized that, because he asked for a trade away from the best player in the world because he wanted to show the world that he could lead his own team. That's something different, especially at this time in the NBA when everybody was buddying up trying to get a championship ring. Kyrie Irving wanted to leave LeBron James so he can get his own, right? And that was very significant because after the Celtics experiment didn't work out, and he realized that sometimes you have to realize your faults and realize your mistakes. And I think he just realized he wasn't probably the best at being the leader for them. And then he moved on and goes to Brooklyn. Used to be known as New Jersey Nets. They now moved to Brooklyn. They in the same city, New York, as the New York Knicks. Creates a great rivalry. Then he teams up with Kevin Durant and James Harden. Now, once he gets here, they have this whole thing about the big 3. They almost have a chance to win last year, but health being health, things come down, injuries come down, they don't win it. Then comes this year about COVID. So I gave you the whole rundown who Kyrie Irving is so you can understand this whole situation about COVID. He's been deemed and been labeled as the main anti-vaxxer against sports, and I think that's unfair because he made this decision way before I think anti-vax even was a thing, that he wasn't going to stick the vaccine in his arm. And so at the time when he made that decision, I'm guessing nobody in the NBA had the rule where if you didn't have the vaccine, you couldn't play in a certain city. Now New York, Los Angeles, Golden State, and Canada now has that rule in line, to the point where if you don't have a vaccine, you cannot come to their stadium. You cannot be in their home stadium playing a game. So that means you cannot play for that home team and not have the vaccine. And this limits Kyrie Irving because that means he cannot play at home games. So because he could not play at home games, the Brooklyn Nets officially deemed him done for the season. Like until either the vax rule got lifted in the world or the NBA said that they didn't care no more, that they was going to allow it. But until then, he was going to have to sit down. which means that one of the key parts of the Brooklyn Nets wasn't going to be there. And that was very crucial because as the Nets started out, they looked terrible. They looked terrible without Kyrie Irving because they built this team thinking that he's there and he's not there, and they didn't have time to go get other pieces to build around that. And it's hard to build around Kyrie Irving when he's not there. So they start off slow. He's not playing at all. And then comes miraculously, the organization sends out this announcement that Kyrie Irving is going to play again on the road only. So he's only going to be a part-time player. He's going to be a part-time player being able to play on the road. He's going to be able to play all road games. I mean, he's going to go to all these other places and play, but he just can't play at home, playoffs included. So he can go play in the away games when they go play in the playoff series, but he just can't play when they play at home. To me, that's a win-win because at least you have Kyrie Irving, opposed to what everybody was telling you to do, which was trade him. Well, if you trade him to a team that doesn't have those restrictions on them, those 4 teams, if you trade him to any 4 teams outside that market, he's liable to come back here and spank that ass. I don't think that would have been a good idea, Brooklyn. I think you actually did the smart move, keeping him and holding on to him. So, I think Kyrie didn't lose. I don't think Brooklyn Nets lost. Only person I think that lost is COVID. And I'm going to dive into more about how COVID is really starting to dive his foot and stick his foot into places where it do not belong, especially in the NBA. Starting to do that little thing again where it's almost shut down sports. I'm going to dive into that in the next segment. But here's a quick word from my sponsors. All right, thank you. So, on my second segment, I'm going to dive into how COVID and all his many different cousins, siblings, brothers, sisters, musical celebrities, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not a joking matter, but it's just that's how many variants there are. There's like that many. It started with COVID-19, then you go to Delta, Omicron, and then they keep finding all these other new ones that I never even heard of. So I'm just going to call it COVID cousins and brothers and sisters. So the reason why I want to talk about it is because it wiped out. It was one point in time in the NBA. People thought the Christmas games was going to be like non-existent because a lot of the star players was out because of COVID. It was running rampant, and the thing that I really didn't get was how it was just bouncing from different player to different player and not shutting down the whole thing. But I guess because everybody's been under more control, some people had the vaccine, some don't, so they've been able to shed it. Now I'm just insured. Not going to put on my science coat here and tell you exactly what the hell is going on in the medical field because I don't know. Can't tell you. I ain't going to sit up here and try to tell you. That's not me. That's not what I do here. Okay, it's a podcast about nothing, nada, not a science one. All right. But what I can say is that if people that actually took and are taking this disease seriously, I appreciate you because this is something I have seen cause many deaths in my family. I have seen it cause many stress, many medicine problems, death. I don't even want to get into it. Just cause problems, right? And I've seen it in sports, shut down sports. I've seen a shutdown of sports. I also seen it where it had made the NBA pick up where it couldn't have no fans in the gym to go to play in the AAU Orlando. They went and played where I play AAU at. They went and played the NBA games where I play my AA, where I used to play my AAU at at Disney World. I don't want that to happen again. And that's why I feel like it was coming to because of how much they really were just wiping out people and that person had to go sit down. There was a record call-ups from the G League this year. I think they said almost 500 players as players in the NBA this season. And we're not even halfway through the season yet. Like, that's a lot of players that they have to watch in and out. It's miraculous and it's beneficial too, because now you're getting a chance to show yourself. I know I've been hearing plenty of stories about players bouncing from team to team, getting a different 10-day contract, which is great. You're getting to live out your NBA dream, which I cannot be more proud of you for, my guy. Continue to do it. I have nothing bad to say about that. And also you have those people who are just getting to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're traveling. They might not even be wanting to really play NBA basketball. They just want to travel and play basketball. And you get to play NBA basketball on the backside of it, right? That's great. And that's pretty much it. Only thing I really have to say about the COVID and because I'm not going to release my status of what I am because I don't want to piss nobody that's standing on which side of the fence off. But is that if you feel like you need to go get vaxxed, man, go do it. If you feel like you don't, then don't. Do what you feel like is safe for you. Follow whatever practice you feel like is safe for you. That's the best advice I can give you, is follow the advice that you feel like is safe for you. If you don't feel like it's safe for you, then don't worry about it. Stop being in other people's business because they feel like that was safe for them. Okay? And the anti-vaxxers and non-vaxxers, we got to figure out this beef that we got going on, because there shouldn't be no beef in between us. We should be trying to figure out the one common enemy, how to get rid of COVID, how to get rid of the anti-vaxxers or the non-vaxxers or the vaxxers. Like guys, come on, we got this. All right, let's figure this out. All right, and I'm gonna dive into my mental health segment for the last segment of the day, and you guys have a blessed day. For my last segment of the day, this is the mental health segment. I want you to worry about you, okay? Worry about you. Don't you worry about nobody else if it don't got shit else to do with you. If you ain't involved in the situation, if you ain't got no money in the situation, if your kids ain't in the situation, if your blood ain't in the situation, if your time ain't in the situation, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. This is truly coming from somebody who won't tell you this themselves. Shut the fuck up. We don't care what you have to say. Why? Because if we cared, we would have asked you for your opinion and your advice. If we didn't ask you for your opinion or your advice, we don't fucking need it. Okay? The reason why I say that is because people like to give you their change when you already got your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, people like to give you their loose change when you already got bills in your pocket. They think because they're giving you this loose change, you're supposed to pick it up because it's theirs. You got bills in your pocket. Why the fuck do I care about your loose change? You know what I'm saying? And like people be like thinking like, oh bro, that's so disrespectful, bro. I'm giving you my time of day. Did I ask for it? Did I ask you for it? Did I come out of my mouth and tell you to tell me something about what I need to do? No. So why are you looking at me crazy when I'm mad at you giving me advice about my life? Stay out of my business. And then, I'm not even talking about the people who like tell the world their business and then get mad that people come in their business. No. I'm not talking about them people. I'm talking about the weirdos who be having a private life. The fucking, like, I could be no fucking celebrity. Jack G shit. Because I know if I go to fucking Whole Foods, right? And y'all telling me I go in Whole Foods and I pick up, I don't know, this olive oil that's been canceled. But to me, the olive oil tastes fucking amazing, right? I don't know nothing about what's going on in that cancel culture. So I'm just picking up the olive oil because to me, this is olive oil I've been using my whole life and it tastes good. And then somebody take pictures of me and say, hey, look at this guy grabbing that olive oil knowing that it's banned and it's canceled. You know how quick I would be like. That's why I don't really want no sponsorships if y'all don't understand that I am me 100% of the time. Because I can't really tell you that if I'm rocking with your brand, I'm rocking with your brand. And if I'm not, tell them other guys, fuck you, okay? Because this is like really hard for me. This part is really hard for me because people don't really understand how much I really hate when people be in my business. Especially when I don't care if you're in my business. And I don't know how much people understand that part. If I don't pay you or give you my time or any of that other stuff, stay the fuck out of my business. Alright. And it goes for everybody. Not just me. This goes for you too. Mind your own fucking business. Stay in your own fucking lane. You can't get in an accident if you're in this lane if you're worrying about what's driving in that lane. If you're looking over there in that lane, you can't worry about what's in front of you. You can't worry about what's in front of you. You're going to crash. Worry about what's going on in your lane. Stay focused on your job. Stay looking at your paper. Remember when you was in school, the teacher used to tell you, look at your own paper? Do that. Look at your own paper. Please and thank you. Now go have a blessed day. I love you. And remember that this podcast is about nada. But nothing is still something. Brought to you by ULM Productions. I love you. Now piss off. Have a great day.